Hello, welcome to CAIVET, Consulting Agency for International Vocational Education and Training. Today I want to present to you the combination of higher education and vocational education and training, which is called Integrated Work and Study Program or Dual Study Program, as we say in Germany. What is the goal of a dual study program? A combination between higher education and vocational training leads to sustainable business success. Why? Because by training and educating future employees to be, and by developing their work-related skills, your business will improve a lot. So what is the issue? The issue is that many young talents are educated very single-sided. They are provided with a lot of theoretical knowledge at university, but they lack the most important thing, work-related skills which make them employable. So a lack of employability is the most common complaint of business owners, employers worldwide. One of the solutions is that the business and industry sector and universities, colleges and training facilities for VET start to cooperate and collaborate a lot more than it is today. So, for example, by developing a common curriculum and a part-time study program, which combines learning by doing at work together with studying, all of the stakeholders can improve their success. What are the main challenges in recruiting? First, well-trained, experienced and educated staff is expensive and hard to find. You have to invest a lot of money in HR staff who is looking through sometimes hundreds or thousands of applications for one job. You have to pay the money for sending back applications. You have to invest time and money for assessment centers, whatever. So it's just a waste of time and money. On the other hand, university degrees, depending on the country, have no uniform standards, and the quality of graduation is often very difficult to assess if you don't know the university from which the applicant is presenting his certificates or his graduation papers. The third thing is that graduates have acquired a lot of theoretical knowledge, but they lack work experience, work-related skills and soft skills because university education is not linked as much as it should with the practical side and the real life work experience. Another issue is that often university graduates don't bring that special knowledge which is needed in your special industry sector. They are trained single-sided. They neither bring intercultural competence nor efficient language skills, of course, no leadership skills. Some universities are trying to improve now year by year in sending students abroad or in bringing international students into the university to improve that, but it's not at a stage where it should be today. And you have another challenge. This is the issue of tradition and mentality of your country. So Due to a lack of vocational training elements at university education, young people are mostly trained for specific activities, very special tasks in specific jobs, but not generally for a profession or an occupation. So every employer has to start with the training of graduates all over again as far as his business related tasks are involved. Because most of occupational trainings or education programs do not teach an occupation or the overview for a profession, but only very specific tasks. And of course, university degrees are seen more valuable and have a better image within the families than a blue collar training completion. So every family who can afford it tries to send their kids to university. If they have the money, they will even send them abroad for studying because they know the education is better there. So this have to be improved a lot. On the other hand, many young talents would fit a lot better in a practical vocational training career than in university education. Of course, you know it by yourself. There are people who are more practical oriented, and you have people who are more theoretical oriented. So, if you combine a practical education together with a theoretical education, this will be a solution for both kind of persons. But by pressure from their families, most of the talents decide for this study program because they think only with a university education they will have a good career later on. And of course, many talented young people will not be able at all to go to university because their families cannot afford them to pay the study program. Um, so, in fact, it's a waste of talents for a country. You will never know how many young people, for example, from rural areas, would be able to graduate until PhD if there's no chance that somebody will finance their study program. So, an adaptable solution for your country or for your company is the German model of dual studies, which means you have a classical vocational education and training institute, of course, the higher education facility like universities and colleges, and you have yourself as an employer who joins the whole system. So if every part of it contributes to one program, this is called the dual study program. The employer and the Vocational Education and Training Institute will have a contract and an MOU that they work together. This will mostly focus on the in-company training plan and covers the part of training which cannot be done in the company because, for example, some special technical training labs are missing or something like that. Then, of course, the employer will have a contract with the higher education facility because they will work together on a curriculum for the study program and on the part-time study model. And of course, also the higher education facility will have a contract with the VET Institute for covering also the parts which cannot be provided by university. So you see, it's very practical oriented. What is so specific about the German model? First thing is that high school kids are already hired directly after finishing school as employees. They are employee in training, but they are on the payroll and they receive an employment contract. This employment contract is valid for the whole time of their study program. It may contain also a binding clause, so after finishing their study program, they have to work for the company for at minimum 2 or 3 years, like a return on investment program for the employer, or they even have to pay back the whole investment they received by the employer. So university and industry sector are working very closely together. They define a suitable curriculum and a part-time study model which meets the needs and demands of both. This can be joined also by a technical training facility, by a vocational institute, for example, and can also include, for example, extra in-company trainings or extra seminars and workshops by external training facilities. This is the thing which can be individually done by every employer. So students do both, studying and working at the same time. There are several part-time models. For example, 3 days per week at university and 3 days per week in the company working. Or you can do it on a quarterly basis, 3 months in company, 3 months at university studying. Or you can even do it on a semesterly basis. So 1 semester completely studying full-time at university and then integrating the free time, so the vacation at university, and then the time at company, which means about 7 to 8 months working time. The most important thing is that the students receive a small salary by the employer, and the employer is paying the university fees, which gives the students the possibility to focus on their studies, and they are not forced to work in their extra time to finance their study programs and their costs of living. So the German model is a very holistic approach for education of training of young talents. You have the company sets up individual training plans and target setting frameworks for the young students. So you have mentoring in the companies, which means goal setting, training, guidance and help, of course. The company defines the suitable departments, special projects, tasks, where the students will work during their study program. The most important thing is that also these young people start to work together in the existing employee teams. So they are working not on several learning tasks, they are working together with the employees, with the team on real life working projects. So the employees in the company are already trained as mentors for these students. This leads also to further employee development because these employees will have a lot more responsibility. So it's a kind of staff participation and staff binding program also for the company. It's even more a benefit. So the German model of a dual study program is a long-term thing. It's nothing for a short-term period. One benefit for the company is that you can use it also as a sustainable long-term probationary period for young talents. And as I said already, it's a holistic approach alongside the work processes, because you will be able to monitor the complete work development and the personal development of young people. So after finishing their studies and after seeing them in your company for 3 or 3.5 years, you will definitely know, okay, this person is very much motivated, engaged, and can be put in this or that job and position. Of course, the whole program can be extended, as I said already, with extra trainings at university or in the companies, seminars, workshops. If you as an employer want to send them abroad to your international subsidiaries, you can do that. Or they can take part as in university exchange programs. You can give them participation to special R&D projects, whatever. So, what are the biggest advantages and the results of this program? After finishing a dual study program, graduates proved already their learning skills as well as their work-related skills, and they have a lot of work process knowledge after finishing this program. It's sustainable and it's long-term. It's an employee development tool, and it combines a full university study program for undergraduation as well as for higher education, with a complete vocational training and an in-house in-company training. So this program is not only for bachelors, this is also for master students and even PhD students. The advantages are also that it allows a continuing examination and evaluation, and of course consideration of the long-term skill development of young people. You as an employer or your HR managers are in the position to monitor and control their development. And the best thing is you can steer it. If you see a person which is talented with practical skills for mechanical things, for example, you have the chance to give this person the right tasks to really give sustainable success to your business. These talents will learn what you as an employer needs them to learn, because you also defined the curriculum together with the university and you gave your input to that curriculum. So it's that what you need. The financial background for students, by receiving a small salary, extends of course the circle of applicants. So these young people who were not be able before to go to university because of financial issues of their families now can do that. And this might be also a very good part of your company social responsibility program. So to summarize it, before we had some issues and now we have the solution. Because now you can train and educate your staff by yourself. You start with youngsters, it's a long-term invest, but in the end it's cheaper and it's worth it. You will find a university as a cooperative partner and you'll know what they teach. So the company will be part of the quality improvement process and part of the R&D department. Now you as an employer are able to guarantee the work experience of students by yourself. So the issue that graduates have acquired a lot of theoretical knowledge but lack of work experience is solved. Also, the issue that universities teach not the knowledge which you need in your business is solved. Because by the close partnership between the university and your company, now you both can define a curriculum together which will fulfill the needs and demands of you both. And university graduates are not longer trained single-sided because now the company can complement the curriculum at university by offering additional trainings, seminars in their house or in cooperation with additional training facilities. And of course, the issue that sometimes or mostly young people with only a VET degree um, are only trained for very specific jobs or tasks is solved as well. Because now graduates will meet the demands of a full job outline, which was defined by you as an employer and together with a university. So at all, you have no risk of a financial loss of this investment because you can add a payback option in the training employee contract. In case the student fails or wants to quit the company after finishing the study program, he or she has to pay back the university tuition fees and the received salary to the employer. So, what are the most important benefits? For you as an employer, you are benefiting from highly motivated young talents who are trained the way you want them to be trained. You will have a lot more stronger cooperation with the research and development faculties of the universities and its long-term and sustainable development and its employee binding. So job hopping will decrease a lot by this program. For the universities, the benefits are also clear. They benefit from the close partnership with the business sector because now curricula are defined in the cooperation of both, so they meet the demands of the industry sector. So graduates have a lot bigger chance to get a job after their graduation. The stronger cooperation with the R&D departments and of course to the HR departments of employers is a very important thing for universities because they will have more R&D projects in their university to work on. And of course for every university this will be a big increase of prestige. They will discover new fields of activity and maybe they will get a lot more financial support by the companies. For the students, the benefit is that by learning by doing in a company, while gaining practical work experience, while studying at a university at the same time, they save time and money. And of course, as already said, the families might benefit from the remuneration for the students and from the university fees which are paid by the company because now many young people will be able to study who couldn't afford it before. So, of course, you may ask now, what does it need to start such a program? The first is that you as an employer and a university have the strong will to do so and the will to start. Of course, you cannot deny it, this will cost a lot of time and money. You will need staff and you will need motivation from your staff to do new things, new tasks, new mentoring issues in your company. And of course, because it's something new which you don't know, you have no experience with it, you will need external experience support for that. So, the will to do means you are willing to implement such an integrated work and study program in your long-term employee development. So a lot of stakeholders are involved. You need a university which is willing to cooperate with you and which focuses on the benefits and advantages. The faculty at the university must be willing to change their art of teaching, the curriculum, the time frames, and sometimes maybe also the attitude towards the private sector, which is an innovative approach for some universities. In the company, you will need, of course, a board of directors, which is willing to make a long-term invest in education of future employees. But also the board of higher management must be willing to spend time in the employee development. And not only the board of higher management, also the lower management is integrated because they must be willing to take responsibility, to take care and to look after the young talents. So employees must be willing to spend additional time in their own development as mentors and in the mentoring of young people. So maybe many employees will not have ever heard before of pedagogy, some topics of psychology, mentoring, coaching, whatever. So this is a challenge for a company. Of course, you will need a budget and you will need investment in time. You will have to do a very good analysis of needs and demands. How many students should be hired? Of which topics and subjects? Will it go more for the engineering programs or more for the business administration programs? Which infrastructure and administration does it need inside the company? Which facilities can already be used and are already there? Which facilities have to be found? Which university might be a very good suitable partner? Is there the right faculty at the university? Which subjects are a must in the curriculum, which can be left out? Which part-time model suits best for you as an employer and the university? So a lot of tasks have to be done. And of course, the main important thing is the staff on both sides, as well as at the employer side and the university side. So matching people in the company and the university is a very important thing. You have to find the right staff for the project team. These people have to be very motivated, very engaged to do new things, to try new things. Standards have to be defined. Motivational techniques have to be used maybe. Your recruiting staff has to find the right students, of course. So as a pilot project, you will have to do a lot of work in finding the right candidates. Because you will have to focus on the talents, not just on the CVs. So I'm Jutta Mohammed Ali and I can give you the external support for that. How can that be done? One thing can be that I organize a delegation visit to Germany to see how this system is actually working here. The next thing is that I normally work as a project coordinator for the whole adaptation and implementation process of a dual system. And the third thing is that, of course, I'm working as a network building person. So I'm trying to bring potential partners together who are willing to start a pilot project for that. The coordination and the support of project elements focus on various topics. For example, for the universities, how can you develop a part-time study model? I give consulting on the curriculums because the now existing curriculums have to be changed. Faculty training in work-related pedagogy and didactics. Technical infrastructure has to be changed somehow. Building training facilities might be an issue. For the employers, I will give consulting on development of the infrastructure you need when you hire these young talents. There must be working process aligned in-house training plans, coaching procedures, skill evaluation plans, competency-based in-company trainings, the building of project teams. So it's a lot of work to do for implementing such a program. These are my contact details, so please contact me and I can tell you even more about that. If you have any further question, write me an email or contact me via the social media platforms, whatever you like. Thank you very much for your attention. I appreciate a lot that you took half an hour of your time to follow this presentation, and I hope I could give you a good insight of what an integrated dual work and study program really is. Thank you very much.